just going to my teacher.
New research suggests that if we all ate a vegetarian diet, 1/3 of early deaths could be prevented. A professor known as Dr. Walter Willett, professor of epidemiology and nutrition at Harvard Medical School, was the one who conducted this research, and they found that by switching towards a more healthy plant-based diet, 1/3 of early deaths could be prevented, but that's if all people were to switch their diets. So experts are saying that in fact we may be underestimating the benefits of eating a plant-based diet. Today I'm going to be talking about why having a plant-based diet is better than having a meat-based diet. When we were kids, most of our parents always talked about how important it was to eat all of our vegetables. And turns out they were right. Our moms and dads were right that eating plant-based is actually incredibly important. Being a vegetarian means that you do not eat meat, but you can consume different dairy products. If you decide to cut out dairy, then you're what's considered a vegan. Both are plant-based eating. Both are still a little bit more healthy than eating a meat-based diet. Plant-based diets have been tied to a lower risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, obesity, cancer, and other chronic diseases. Eating plant-based isn't about being different. It's not about being cool. It's not about being popular. It's about caring for your health. It's about caring for your body and giving it the proper nutrition that it needs. I think that right now humans are in need of a solution to better health and to solve problems with chronic illnesses, and I think that eating plant-based could be one of those solutions. Recent studies show that around 600,000 people die every single year from heart disease, and heart disease is the leading cause of death for both men and women. It's around every 1 in 4 deaths is related to heart disease. And the reason I bring that up is because a new study has found that eating meat regularly is associated with a 60% increase in the risk of getting heart disease, while plant-based proteins, on the other hand, are found to benefit your organs. So researchers who investigated the effects of different sources of protein on the heart found that people who eat a lot of meat have a larger risk in getting cardiovascular disease. However, eating protein from nuts and seeds was linked to a 40% reduction in cardiovascular disease. So as you can see, by eating meat, you put yourself at risk. And while on the other hand, eating plant-based can actually help your organs. More and more people die each year from heart disease, and eating meat will only increase your chances of getting that. As a society, we need to raise awareness on this issue so we can move towards a healthier future generation. Luckily for us, this is a huge issue, but we have a solution to this issue, and that solution would be switching to a plant-based diet. Plant-based diets have been around for a long time, longer than I've been alive, and places like Asia and India have been studying the different benefits from plant-based eating for many years. And traditionally, research into this type of diet mostly is focused on the potential nutritional deficiencies that people can find from it. People saying that you don't get enough vitamins and minerals from not eating meat. But it turns out recent studies show that the tables have actually turned the other way, showing that there can be multiple benefits from meatless eating. And it's now recognized as nutritionally sufficient, and it may reduce the risk of different chronic illnesses by switching to a plant-based diet. Either way, if you eat this way for a few meals, or if you eat this way for a whole decade, it can be beneficial to your health in a load of ways. A few examples on how plant-based eating can be beneficial to you is through weight control. It can help you with weight control. It can help with heart health. It can also help hypertension management. So eating a plant-based diet may help lower your high blood pressure. It can also help improve your insulin response. So it won't help cure diabetes, but it can help improve and stabilize your blood sugar and make your body more susceptible to the insulin. Also, another thing that's kind of interesting, aside from lowering your risk of heart disease, a study in 2013, funded in part by the American Institute of Cancer Research, included that vegetarians and vegans have a nearly 10% lower risk of developing cancer than non-vegetarians. Overall, The AICR stated that more than a third of U.S. cancer cases could be prevented by healthy eating and maintaining a healthy weight. So just some interesting things to think about when it comes to switching to a plant-based diet. You can really set yourself ahead and think about your future health. Many people find it hard to grasp the concept of cutting meat out of your diet, and for most people it is really hard because they're unaware of the benefits that comes from cutting meat out of your diet. And if you do it, I promise you'll thank yourself. About a year ago I decided to become a vegetarian. I've had stomach issues for a long time, and doctors were never really able to figure out what was going on with me. I was on multiple different medications, and nothing ever really worked that great. A friend of mine recommended that I switch to a plant-based diet, and now my diet's around a 90% plant-based. I still consume dairy and stuff like that every once in a while, but for the most part I eat just plant-based foods. And within that time that I switched to this diet, I lost around 10 to 15 pounds without even trying. My skin cleared up. I had less oil and different things in my skin, and on top of that I feel better and I'm happier overall. So as you can see, this is something that's possible. I ate meat for my whole entire life, and then about a year ago I decided that I was going to change. So not only I can do it, but you could do it too if this is something that you see that is fit for yourself. And another interesting thing that comes up when you're talking about switching to a plant-based diet is the facts with agriculture and the meat industry right now. And that's why a lot of people are switching over to a plant-based diet, is because they realize all the issues that are coming from eating animals and the way that we produce the meat that people are eating. Agriculture accounts for about 1/5 of all total greenhouse gases. That's more than all the cars and planes and trains combined in the world. So agriculture itself is specifically tied to the meat industry, and that is one of the biggest producers of greenhouse gases, which is affecting our climate and it's affecting our environment. So studies have been done on climate change, and shows that meat eaters are responsible for about twice as many greenhouse gases as people that do not eat meat. So although that's not really a significant figure, without eating meat you are contributing less to the greenhouse gas emissions. And the United Nations believes that a global shift toward plant-based food is vital if we are to combat the worst effects of climate change that we are currently seeing. Globally, animal agriculture is responsible, like I said before, for more greenhouse gases than all of the world's transportation systems combined. So if we were to cut back on the amount of meat that has to be produced, maybe we can make a significant impact in climate change and help the earth in that way. Although vegetarian eating does have a really good reputation in many ways, recent news has focused on what could be bad about these diets. And a recent report has found that severe lack of protein, among other shortcomings, can lead to hair loss. And there have also been studies done on people who have been switched to these diets that are experiencing depression and different things with your mental health. And other researchers have looked at the mental health problems that come along with this, and they realized that these problems that these people had were actually there before they switched to these diets. So the diet itself is there's not an actual link to the mental health issues. If you do, switch to a plant-based diet and you're not taking the vitamins that you need, sure, maybe you could be susceptible to some hair loss if you do not take the vitamins that you need. But in the same article that talks about how people have been experiencing negative effects, it also tells us that with education and supplements, we can overcome these issues, and we can be a plant-based eater and not have any of those issues, and you can be healthy and you can feel better at the same time. I think that if you try hard enough, you can find something negative in everything, but if you also try hard enough, you can find something positive in everything and focus on the benefits. And that's what you really need to do when you look at plant-based diets, is that it's healthier for you, it's can put you at lower risk of chronic diseases. I mean, it can help you, control your weight, it can help a lot of things, and it's just a matter of fact, do you want to do it, and is it something that can fit into your life? Because I think it's a great choice. It can help you, it can help the environment, and overall it's just a better decision. Overall the pros kind of outweigh the cons in my eyes, and research and testimonies show that this diet is better for your health. It's definitely better for the environment by cutting out meat, And by that alone shows that this diet is just better than a meat-based diet. So this isn't about taste, it's not about craving. I get that most people enjoy eating it. This is about your nutrition. And I think that if you switch to a plant-based diet today, we can make a significant impact on the environment, and you can also help yourself at the same time. Thank you.